So, we've all been formed by our childhoods to a greater or lesser extent, I guess. Tell us a bit about your childhood and how it made you the person that you are today.
My childhood. I grew up, four of us. My mum's single parent. We moved around a lot growing up, like mostly around Northwest. Like sometimes we'd be living somewhere.
That is Northwest London.
Northwest London, yes.
Spoken as a true Londoner. That was very good.
Northwest London. I guess we never had no money. There were stages there were stages when there was a stage when we were homeless, but it's not like a pity story because I don't remember it. So it's really more so a pity story for my mum, who had the 4 children in on the street or wherever it was, and homeless shelters and stuff like that. So, but my mum was a hard worker, so she was always trying something new. And I think maybe that's where I could probably get my business acumen from, because I just watching her all the time. Like I remember when we were kids, she used to make these things called plantain chips and this other thing called chin chin, but she'd have us doing it. So she'll cook it, but we'd be in the kitchen bagging it, putting the labels on.
She put you to work.
Yeah, we weren't getting paid either.
That is where you got your business acumen from. And she was a Christian, but you weren't. Is that right? Is that how it worked as you were growing up? And if that was the case, in what ways did that benefit you?
So yeah, my mum was a Christian, since I could remember. So I wasn't a Christian as a child, but we were forced to go to church, and she was always preaching to us, and we had to, not even preaching to us, she wasn't actually preaching to us, she was just always speaking to us, and every morning we had to wake up at 5 a.m. to pray, and that was something that was until we were
Man, Mark, I wish my kids were here. We never did anything like that to them. They would love to hear that.
No, and that was until I was about 16, 17. So even if we had friends coming over, they were forced to have to pray as well. So it was always weird when we were kids, because
And you said to me that that upbringing, it affected you and sort of Christianized your conscience.
Yeah, so it gave me a Christian conscience. So even when I wasn't a Christian, I always still had a Christian conscience. So there were still things where, it's not that I didn't do anything bad or wrong, but it's almost like there was a pull on me, because I couldn't go, let's say, anything close to as far as anybody else could, because it was always on my conscience. So that's why I always used to say that, I had a Christian conscience, even though I wasn't, directly living this life, even though I hadn't given my life over to Jesus, I was still...
It affected you.
It affected me. It wouldn't allow me to do certain things.
I think that's such a powerful illustration of how we should be for the nation. It's not like everyone's a Christian, but because there are Christians there, it stops the nation doing some things that otherwise they would do.
Yeah.
Just a thought, but I've thought of that often since you told me that part of the story. So we'll fast forward.
Yep.
You come to faith.
Yep.
And you come to faith and you start cutting hair.
Well, yeah, I was cutting hair already, then I came to faith.
Right. And now you've got your own shop, and you get this whole variety of different people who come in. You're cutting the hair of celebs. You're engaged with the local community. So just give us a feel of a day in the life of SliderCuts. What does a typical day look like for you?
A typical day for me starts at I wake up probably about 4 o'clock, and then I'll probably be at work between I'll be at work anything from between 4 and 7 a.m. I intro the day. If some of the people who know my Instagram, I say good morning to everybody who's watching. Then I get to work. Then it's just customer after customer and conversation after conversation. And that's when it really, you could say, the work really starts happening. It's really in the depths of actually talking to people when the work is really going on. And being a barber, there's something about it that people really open up about whatever's going on in their lives. So I say this thing where I say that every barber is a counselor, just not every barber is a good one.
So what sort of things are you counseling on?
It's anything from typically, guys talking about their relationship problems, to business, where they're going in their lives, school work. What are the other things which we talk about? Football. But yeah, it's to struggles to do with things like, needing money, to like some of the things I've been told, which like wouldn't really repeat, but it could be anything from someone's going through a tragic situation because their sister's passed away, their child's passed away. They've been in situations talking to people where like they've been involved to some degree in, let's say, a life being taken and things like that. So it's just a range of things from, happy moments of you're getting married, you've graduated, you're having a child, to loss of life, to you've been involved in someone's life being lost and things like that. So it really just ranges just through just whatever's going on in people's lives.
And I know you said that there was one time where there were a couple of gangs who were just getting mad at each other and that was all going out of control. Can you just tell us a bit about that?
Okay, so yeah, in the area where I was working, there was 2 gangs and I cut people from both gangs. And I came to find out that they had problems with each other. So I was just speaking to them both, like asking why, what's the issue between you two? And the funny thing is it started over something so small, someone's phone being stolen. But then now it's like people's houses are being broken into, people are being stabbed, guns are being pulled on each other and things like that. And I just remember always talking to them saying, well, don't you think it's quite ridiculous what it started over? And some of them didn't even know what it started over. So I'm talking to people now who don't even know what it started over, but I know what it started over. So I'm like, so you're fighting over something you don't even know why. But they'll be like, oh yeah, but they've done this and they've done that now. So for over a period of time, I was always just talking to them, just kind of like, you could say planting seeds into trying to tell them to, just basically to resolve this, and it doesn't actually make any sense. And in 5 years, you probably won't even care about the situation. So I was doing that, time went on, and I came to a point when I realized that it seemed like they weren't really talking about this problem anymore. And I remember just asking one of them, yeah, what happened with what happened with you guys, this and that? And he goes, oh no, we're all right now. And I was like, oh, why, what happened? And he goes, oh, do you know what? It's just what you kept on saying, kind of resonated with me. So I kind of thought, really, is it really that serious? And then when I spoke to someone, I think from the other side, they said a similar thing. So it was funny because no one actually ever came to me and said, oh, do you know what? We've actually put the problem aside now, and what you said really helped. But it just happened, and I just found out later that that was the reason why.
That's really nice. That sometimes a great example of us doing good and not even being aware of the effects of it. Last question, Mark. Why do people listen to you? Why, I doubt they'd listen to me. Why do they listen to you?
They listen to me, I think, because one, you're coming from the same environment, culture, community as them. 2, I guess I'm someone who they can relate to. Also, with these people, I'm not looking for anything from them. So I'm not here like trying to exploit them in any way. I'm not here trying to take advantage of them. And genuinely, I'm actually trying to help them. And I think they see that. Not even I think they see, I know that they see that. So when I'm talking to someone, what am I getting from you having no problems with that other person? That doesn't really affect me. And also, to be honest, there's a lot of things like through like just working that I've done in helping people. And when I mean helping people, that could be anything from money to time to energy, just like talking on the phone to people in hospital and going to see them. And when you're doing all these things and I'm not gaining anything from it, I think over the years especially, what's happened is people just come to realize that actually I'm being genuine when I'm actually here talking to them, because what do I gain from anything that, that you could say I'm inputting into your life? Because if you make £1 million, I can't take a share, I can't take a cut from that. If I tell you to, avoid this and you don't go jail, that doesn't add any, time to my life.
Well, Mark, it sounds like you're a pastor. Mark Maciver, thank you very much. Let's give him our thanks.
Thank you.